Hey guys, and welcome back to Bath City. We're in League One, and you know what? I am as excited as ever for the future of this club. I can't wait to show you what things have changed at the club over the past the past couple of months. I guess it's been about since the end of last season. There's been some very exciting things going on. Lots of changes. I'm just really worried I'm going to miss something. That's kind of my real concern right now. I don't mind if you guys like it or not. I think you guys are going to love some of the things. Maybe there's some things you feel should have been done that weren't, which is definitely something we had a bit of a problem with, I feel, because we didn't have tons of money for this level of football. But we're here in League One, and you could already see a few big things when it comes to changes in the club. So let's talk about the club first before we move on to, transfers and whatnot. That's the big thing, and there has been a lot of that, and I'm very interested to see how well the team does. I think we could have an exciting year, possibly. We'll have to wait and see. But you can see we're predicted to come 23rd. Guys, we're not predicted to come 24th. How is this possible? Is this black magic? Have Bath City owners just put a spell on whoever, the media, I guess? We're 23rd. How? We were 24th every season in League 2, predicted. Now we're in League 1, we're predicted to come 23. Have people finally recognized us as being not the worst team in the world? This is incredible. We're also estimated value, £1.59 million. That is awesome. The fact we're now worth not only above £1 million, but quite well above £1 million. Our reputation's gone up to 2 stars. Look at that. 2 whole stars. I just want to kiss them. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm getting too excited. I apologize. Generally, when it comes to the club, we still have no trophies really to speak of, which is kind of... I think that's going to be the big thing. I have to get us a trophy. One day, we can't just keep going for playoffs. I mean, I said to you guys before, I love playoffs because what they do, but I'm starting to just get bored of it. There's 4 playoffs now, just with Bath City. This is ridiculous. We gotta stop that. We gotta win a trophy. But overall, nothing else has particularly changed. Season tickets sold so far for the season, 661. That's not too bad. That's not too bad at all when you think about it. Our capacity is a little bit down because we are making changes. We're getting an expanded stadium, which will finish in September. So just in about 1 more month, we'll have an expanded stadium, but it's not really by much. It's only been expanded by 500 seats. That is correct. We're going to have a 2,500 people stadium. So it doesn't sound like much, does it? But the thing is, it's 500 more people we can get in. I think that's still really important for us. Hopefully we can expand it again next year if we keep making money. If we can make money again this year, hopefully we can expand on it again and get to a 3,001. This stadium has a lot of room for expansion. So it's a big stadium, we just don't have seats. That is the only problem. The league wants you to have seats, not just a big stadium. So we just need to keep making seats. And this cost us £600,000 just to add 500 seats. That's a lot more money than I expected. Finance-wise, we're looking pretty healthy, 650,000 in the bank. That's after the stadium, because 300,000 we got from a grant from the government. So that means it only really cost us 300,000. So half of it was paid for by the government, which is really good. But to pay off the other money, we took out a loan. So it does mean we have some debt, which I'm not fond of. But at least it means the rest of the money's kind of in here, safe to keep the club afloat. So I guess that's good. I don't know. I'd rather than probably just taking the 300 out of here, but I don't know how this is going to affect us because we might be paying a lot of wages this season. Our wages have gone up. We've given some new players quite big wages compared to the old players. We were giving the players before tiny wages, like £500. Now players are asking for at least like 1,000 at this level of the league. So it's cost us a lot to bring players in, but hopefully it's worth it. I'm very happy with some of the quality of the ones we brought in. So I think we should be getting right down the transfers. Let's not look at this. Transfer history. Okay. So, you can see we brought in quite a few new faces, which we needed to do. A lot of these faces aren't necessarily to increase the team, make them just better. Some of them are squad faces, and some are just better. And some are going to make it more competitive. So, I'm very excited for some of them. When it comes to players that have left, some of these players are very difficult. Some of the players are very difficult to choose what to do with because I wasn't sure who we were going to bring in because I had to wait to see, once the contracts are over, in July. I wasn't sure we were going to bring in. So I didn't know who to let go and what positions we needed for later. So I just chose based upon what I've seen the last season in particular and whether I think what I've seen in League 2, I could see him play in League 1, even as a backup. And so Jamie Eaton-Collins was let go on a free. After he came back from his injury, he was never as good as he was. He played a few good games, but overall, look at this. I mean, if you just look at his technical, I just don't think he's good enough for League 1. League 1 is a step up from League 2. It's not the biggest step up, The Championship is a much bigger step from League 1 to the Championship. But it's still a step up. And Jamie Eaton-Collins, I just don't think he's going to be good enough. I definitely knew we could bring in better players than him. So I felt he had to go. There's a lot of good attacking midfielders out there. We could probably bring in a better one than him, so he had to go in the end. Same with Hunter. Hunter's been with us from the beginning, so I was really, really tempted just to give him a contract, just to let him stay. But a lot of the players, if I offered them new contracts, because we got promoted, they were starting to ask for more money. So I was like, well, Hunter, you're not worth that money, sadly. I want to keep you on, but I can't really, as a manager, justify paying you just to keep you here. He's only 27 years old as well. He's actually still quite young. He started out quite young with Bath City, and he's just got the speed. That's really it. That's all he had, and some flair, which is good. And, okay, I keep going on about things, but yes. So I decided to let him go because, again, like I said before, there are definitely very good attacking players you can get at this level. And people are starting to take us seriously. With our reputation going up, a lot more players are starting to, look at us, If you've seen that meme where the guy's looking around from his girlfriend at the other girl, looking at her, we're now the other girl. We used to be the girl he was looking away from. Now we're the girl he's looking at, That's who we are now. I'm sorry for memes, but it's all on Twitter. You can't avoid it these days. And I actually kind of enjoy that one. But, as I was saying, Shaquille Hunter sadly had to go. We'll miss you, my friend. We'll remember your loyal service just like all the others. And I'll try not to forget your name, just like I did with Ball that one time. Zach Viner was another player. His defensive capabilities are not bad. He's not actually a bad centre-back. But, and you see he got work straight away. But, the thing is with him is that I just don't feel he performed that well. Compared to Monfils. Monfils is meant to be, by my coaches, worse than him. But Monfils played better. In the National League, he played really well. 6.79. 6.85, 6.64, it just didn't click for him. He just seemed to be losing his way. So I decided to let him go as well. But going to Gillingham, that's a good team. That's in League 2, but still, they only got relegated 2 seasons ago. He could come back up. Not too bad for him. After that, we let go of Jack Simpson. Jack Simpson was our kind of backup left back, We brought him in to replace Ball, but he didn't seem good enough. I just kept playing Ball instead, which was kind of funny. But Jack Simpson, I just felt, wasn't up for the task of going up to League 1. I could hardly trust him in League 2, so I definitely felt it was time for him to go. Gareth Kelly, that young goalkeeper, it didn't look like he was ever going to make it, sadly, so I had to let him go. Again, a lot of youth were let go this season, actually. You can see right here. In fact, if we have a quick look at under 23s, you can see, look at that. Much smaller than it used to be. Bob Bruce has also been kind of pushed down into the under 23s just because there are other players we brought in now who are good. But I still like him. He still plays. He still performs when he plays. He still performs. But who did we bring in? NG, who did you bring in who you think can keep Bath in League 1 and maybe one day get us promotion? Well. Let's go from the top. The first player I brought in was a loan because this was such a good player that I felt we had to bring in, but it was just a loan player. But I felt we had to bring him in because he was just that good. David Kasumu, sorry. He's 23 years old, so very young. He's a midfielder and defensive midfielder. Now, I like the fact he was a defensive midfielder because obviously we do have Cunningham, who can play defensive midfielder, and McKenzie. And in League One, I think we're going to go with a defensive midfielder rather than an attacking midfielder in our games because we are the new team in League One. It's the new league. I want to play a bit more defensively. We never could do that before when we got new into the league. We always were stuck with the players that we had. So we had to play a bit more attacking, which I didn't want to do. So I'm hoping this season we can actually do a tactic I want to do when we're in this position. So I'm hoping that could help us a bit more. But look how good he is. Look how good my coaches think he is. He's valued at 2.2 million. Guys, we have a guy worth 2.2 million at the club. Even on loan. That's crazy. Like, considering, like, back in the last year, maybe, our highest valued player was like 100,000. That's the highest we've ever had, basically, valued player. So this guy's pretty good. Overall, his stats are just all good. He's not terrible at anything, but he's not amazing at anything. He's okay at the things he should be at. So I'm very happy with him. Nice little loan player. We are paying his wages, though, 20%. So I think we're paying, 2.3 thousand basic wage, but I think his wage is higher. 11,000. So we're paying quite a small amount of his wage to bring him into the club. But obviously we didn't have much wage. I think we had 16,000 free wage budget left after we re-signed players, possibly. But yeah, so that was quite, a big part, but I think he's worth it. An extra class of midfielder. And, loan, we can never bring in loan, we never get to bring in loan players in the recent years. After that, I brought in Luke Colson. Now, Luke Colson ain't going to set the world on fire, but I felt like we needed a player who could play kind of winger, but also a wide midfielder, and he can play lots of positions, and he seems to be okay in many positions, so I kind of like that about him. He is not meant to be one of our star players. He's meant to be a player like a sort of backup player to expand upon the squad. He can play many places. He's a key player because that's why I had to offer him, to get him to come. But I think he'll be useful. He could play as there if we want to play a bit more defensively. He can also play in kind of a wing-back role if we want to change our formation, mix things up a bit, which I might think about doing. He can also play a defensive right. He's not terrible at tackling and marking, so I'm fine with that. So I think he could be quite useful. History-wise, we have a quick look. He used to play at Barnet for quite a long time in League 2. And you can see there, 6.91, 6.7, 6.8, 6.6, 7, and a 7 last season. So it looks like he's been playing well in recent years. Obviously, he was in the National League there. But it shows he can perform even when he's in a league that's lower than he probably deserves to be in. Then he was let go by Barnet, and so we picked him up. Not the best one, but I just feel like because of all the positions he can play, really adds an extra layer to the team. Because that's something we've always missed, is being able to do different formations. Because a lot of formations that we do, we have to do them because we have to, because we don't have enough players and they get injured or something. The next player, this is probably one of the players I'm more excited about. Regan Griffiths. As you can see here, he's a pretty good midfielder overall. 23 years old. He's rated a 3-star, but can go up to 3.5. Physicals are really good. Mentals aren't too bad. He's got the right mentals I like. Good passing, though, and okay at other stuff. But he's kind of meant to be more of like the box-to-box. Not a defensive one, more that can go a bit more forward and be a bit more intelligent with his game and pass the ball well. I really like him. He's not as good as David Kasumi, but his estimate 300,000. We got him in on a free, and he's now valued at 300,000. You actually notice a lot of our players are now worth a lot more because we're in League One, and some of their prices may surprise you. It's kind of interesting now to actually have players worth something. It's so weird now that our players are worth something, even ones that used to not be worth much. But yeah, Regan Griffiths I think is a really nice capture for us. History-wise, he was at Swansea, and he went on loan to a few teams in League 2, and he always performed. So he always performed in League 2. I think he can make the step up into League 1. I think the Championship was too much for him. I'm a fan of Swansea as well, so we got Kasumu from loan from them. Regan we got from a free from them, so both of which I think can really add to our midfield and just add a bit, extra oomph to it, so we can control the game maybe sometimes, especially because we're going to play like with a defensive midfielder. So I think with them too, Cunningham, McKenzie, we could be quite a good midfield, actually, you know, for League One, possibly. Next one up is another kind of big one, James Tilley. Now, James Tilley here is 25 years old. Stat-wise, I think he looks really good. He's valued at 225 pounds. I keep bringing up the value, but that's because we haven't seen these numbers in our team before. So it feels pretty nice. Now, he's going to come in to kind of, I guess, maybe be ahead of Semedo. Now, Semedo did do well last season, but we wanted to bring another player to be competitive with him, and James Tilley looks like he could be better than him, possibly. So I'm going to be playing him ahead of him, but him and Semedo are going to be competitive with one another, and we'll see which one comes out on top for kind of the left winger role here. He's got really good dribbling. Overall, just okay. History-wise, he did come from Burton. Now, Burton are playing the National League. Remember, they fell all the way down to the National League. But, he's been at some, interesting places. He played in League 2 when he was younger. Didn't go so well. Championship, he had a few games. Obviously, Championship's probably a bit too high for him. Did not have the best of times. League 2 had a few games and didn't play that well. But then he went on free to Burton and played really well for them in League 2, even though they got relegated. And then he went to the National League and played well as well. I feel he's been unlucky. So I feel like he could be a hidden diamond in the rough. And even if he's not, he's worth a lot of money. We can sell him. And Semedo can obviously then get his chance to go back into the limelight. So either way, you see, look at him. He's now worth 165,000. So I feel like we're doing quite nicely. After that, obviously we've got quite a few midfielders there. We needed to bring in more of a defensive outlet. Jamie Wilkinson. So Jamie Wilkinson can play a centre-back, but he can also play a right-back. Mainly, we're going to be using him as a centre-back, I think. Yeah, probably more as a centre-back. He's got good tackling, good marking. He's got good strength and jumping reach, which I really liked, obviously. Really good physicals overall compared to most of our players. Not the most valued player, not even that looks the best, but I like his intelligence and his physicals, which I think are really important. And he just has the basics, tackling, marking, heading. What more do you want? Not really good for a right back because he hasn't got good crossing or dribbling. But if you're playing a defensive right back, it could work out possibly. A bit like Josh Leyland has for us, but I quite like him history-wise. Played in League 2 when he was young, played really well. Had a bit of chance in League 1, didn't play well. Loaned to League 2, played well. Again, played well in League 2. League 2, played really well. And then he just kind of got let go by Leyton Orient. So we've kind of stolen players from teams that did really badly. So like Leyton Orient and Burton, both in League 2. Their players played well. Then they got relegated to the National League. And they've kind of, I guess, got stuck there. And so their players have been like, okay, we want to leave. This isn't good enough. We need to go to bigger teams. And so Burton and Leyton Orient players have left and come to us. So that's kind of nice to steal their players. We've kind of stolen, hopefully, some more diamonds in the rough, which we seem to be quite good at. After that, we also brought in Elliot Johnson. Elliot Johnson is more of to add to the squad because we needed another left back. We needed someone to support Bowler just in case he gets injured. Elliot Johnson to me looked about the same, but I still prefer Bowler anyway. So he's just really brought in as a backup to him. But I think he could be good. If Bowler got injured, I'd be very happy to use Elliot Johnson instead of him. History-wise, he came from Barnet as well, as you can see. Do you know the best time last season? We played 16 games. But before that, you can see here, he did very well when he was younger. So maybe it was a change of manager maybe or something. Or the team got relegated that season. So, maybe everyone just wasn't playing well. I don't know, but I'm hoping he can reignite maybe his career here at Bath. After that, we brought in another loan. Finally, a loan from Hull. They've been like, our parent club, but they've none of their players ever want to come. Every time I offer them a chance to come, they always refuse. Until now. Now that we're in League 1, their players are begging to come to... Okay, they're not begging, but they kind of feel they have no other choice because there's not many options. But we brought in Mark Calawalda. Now, the reason I brought him in is because, number one, we have an injury. Number two, we needed another striker. That was really the thing. We needed another striker. And Mark was a really good young striker. Look at that, 4-star rating, potential to get even better. His speed, acceleration, pace, he's just going to be fast. He can grab a ball, score a goal. I think he could be good to bring on sometimes from the bench. You know, we're going to be playing in that defensive midfield formation, so making many opportunities, we won't get that many, but hopefully he can just run in and hurt the defense a bit, get them confused, and the wingers can kind of give him a ball. He just hits it in. He's not got the best finishing and first touch and dribbling, but he does have good composure. So I'm hoping he just gets the ball as maybe like a poacher and just scores a goal. Just really more for a backup. But he is meant to be our best striker, so I don't know. I haven't decided just yet. Now, obviously, these players it doesn't look like they're going to set the world on fire. You might be thinking, some of those are great. Some of them are okay. It depends. Personally, I think that's really good. If you look at the team overall and I show you in the tactics, I'm actually really happy with the ones we brought in, especially with the money that we have and the reputation that we have. I think going to League One, we couldn't sign like people like Griffiths or get Kasumu or James Tilley. We couldn't sign them last season. There'd be no way. Scouting-wise, money-wise, we have 3,000 left. So the money's not completely gone. We could probably bring in maybe one top-class player or 2 squad players. Now, we'll go over the squad in a second. But, as I said, there's a lot of things to go over. We'll just quickly go over the pre-matches. Maidstone, we beat 2-0. Yate, we beat 4-2. We lost to Hull, of course, 2-0. And Crewe, we lost 2-1. So the preseason went okay. We lost like Hull, which is to be expected. But for our first game ever in League One, we're playing against Rotherham. Rotherham. One of those probably is it, or maybe none of them. This team has been firmly in League One for quite a long time, so this will be a big test for us to see if we are good enough against them. Bolka is their main man, their goalkeeper. Really good aerial reach. Look at that. He could be a problem for us. When it comes to the club as well, you might notice Murphy's still here. I couldn't do it. Do you know why I kept him? One thing, I didn't want to let him go, like Hunter. But unlike Hunter, I think he can still play. When he played in League 2, he still performed. So I still wanted to keep him because I think if he comes on League 1, I think he can still perform. Like, as a good backup if there's any big injuries. Remember last season with that big problem with our midfielders? A lot of them got injured and one retired as well from his injury. I don't want that to happen again. So even if he's in the under-23s, he's still the captain. Connaughton has come in as the new vice-captain. So he's taken that step up. He's been at the club for a few seasons now. He's a good leader, it seems, compared to a lot of our players. I think he's a good attitude as well. So I'm happy to bring him in. I was really hoping we could bring in a new goalkeeper, but we'll talk more about it in a second. Kasumu is our key player, of course, and Cunningham is our hot prospect. For the match today, there's a quick look at the match preview. You can see already a bit of hint of what I'm going to talk about in a second. But yeah, look at that. I've got more reputation than their manager. Wow. I mean, I should do by now, to be honest. Let's go into team selection. You can see the team, what we're using today. What you can see right now is Cadwallader is actually our first team for striker position. You'll see why in a second, because Junior is injured for 3 to 4 weeks. So Junior's out for a little bit, so I felt we needed to bring in another striker because we only had him and Richards, and I wanted to bring in a striker, but I couldn't find any strikers that were good enough. There were a few strikers who were okay, but they'd cost us like all our wage budget. Actually, no, I think we couldn't even afford the ones I wanted. So that made things even worse. So I thought, let's just bring in the loan. Let's bring in this good young loan player. I'll show you what I've been looking at here. These players we can't get. Don't worry about that. They're just on if we ever get up. Liam Coogan's, I was actually looking at the player we saw at Morecambe. They've gone down to National League North. But look at those stats. Look at those goals. He is consistently goal scoring. I really want to bring him in, but he's asking for too much money. Also, who's the other one? No, Connor Chaplin was the one I wanted the most. Because I remember I talked about him last season. He was at Lincoln. Really wanted to bring him in, but his wage demands were too high. And so I felt, you know what? We're getting to the start of the season. Their wage demands are too high. We could wait until September, but June will be back by then. We need someone now for the beginning of the season. So I brought in a loan player. We'll see how things go. If we can bring one of them in later on, maybe we'll let him go, but go back to his club maybe. But for now, he's here. James Tilley and Jack Dunn are going to play on the wings there. They got, they both can score if they need to. Griffiths, McKenzie, and Kasumu are back here. Cunningham is not playing. McKenzie's in front of him because I trust McKenzie. Kasumu is playing in that defensive midfield role, so Cunningham's not really needed, and we know he can't always be trusted. He's a bit too hot-headed. He likes to tackle and get cards a bit too much. So I feel like having him be on the bench, maybe he can come on when he's needed. He's less likely to get a red card then. He can learn from Kasumi, so quite happy to bring him there. Kuya's gone on the bench. Coulson's on the bench there. Richards is still in the team, of course. Like him, he's a good young player. My staff say Cadwalder's better, but I quite like Richards as well. But we are in a new league. We need better players. Bowler, Aluwu, Wilkinson, Leyland, and Coddington. I'm happy with our midfield. I think our midfield's great. Our wingers, we've got Jack Dunn, James Tilley, Coulson, Ryan Wintle, and Ashton. Lots of choices. Oh, yeah, and Samida. We've got lots of choices for attacking midfielders. So very happy with them. I'm a bit worried about the defence. I wish you could have brought in another goalkeeper. I couldn't find any good goalkeepers. Merson is staying for another season because he's like the hero. He is a hero after last season. So we kept both of them on, but I couldn't find another goalkeeper to bring in who was even any better than them. They're all just poor, the goalkeepers around on free at the moment. Defenders, I couldn't find another left back apart from Johnson. I really wanted a right back. I couldn't find any right backs apart from Wilkinson. And he's not even a good right back. Leyland's probably better than him. And I couldn't really find a great centre back, that we can afford right now. So we'll see. I'd like to, by the end of the season, bring in another defender. Someone who really improves the team defensively, and maybe keep Cadwalder on loan. Because it's good to have some loan players in, but I'm pretty excited to see what this team can do. We're going to keep things simple, and we're going to have this match today. Sorry about the very, very long introduction, but this is, a big moment for us. There's a lot of things have changed at the club. I want you guys to know as much as possible about the team, what has happened, so you can get invested, just like I have. And hopefully no more players. I really do. I promise you guys, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure we don't go to them, because I don't want to go to them anymore. I'm actually bored. I'm bored of them. We've been to too many. It's lost its, it's lost the interestedness, Once is exciting. Twice is like, oh, this is so crazy. And then, the third and the fourth is like, oh, what, these again? Oh, great. Oh, fine. Oh, woo. It loses the enjoyment and the specialness of it. But yeah, I'm actually quite happy to see how this team can do. I think this team can do it in League One. I say if we can just get maybe like a really good right back. Yeah, I think like that first team and a goalkeeper, a really good goalkeeper and a right back. I think this team could, battle in League One. But we'll see how things go. Let's hope my ideas can be put into practice, and let's hope I'm right. Really, go out and finish. Show the fans what their money's worth. Go and impress me, everyone. There's quite a few new players here this year. Show me what you can do. Extended, perfect. Our first game in League One. Are we good enough? Can we stay up? We normally find our first seasons are normally quite a struggle. The last 2 times we got promoted, it was a big struggle. We'll see how we can do. Aluwu coming very close to that header there. But I'm hoping maybe we could surprise. With the players we brought in, I brought in better players than I thought we would. I made it, squad-wise. I think we've made a better squad than I thought we would. I thought we might have trouble bringing in the quality of players we needed. But I think we might be able to do better than I expected. So I'm going to predict maybe like, 15th. Going around 15th, maybe close to the sort of mid-table possibly. I'm going to throw that expectation out there because so far I've normally been quite close. But I could also be very, very wrong and we get relegated because I've completely done the math wrong and these players are nowhere near good enough. But, every season our players are not meant to be good enough. So I've kind of gotten to this kind of feeling of that, I don't know what it is. It's something about the club and the players together that just works. Griffiths, Mackenzie. Griffiths again. What's he going to do? New boy Griffiths. Tilly now. Back to Bola. Gets it to Oluwu. Oluwu hits up, but doesn't find anyone. We seem to be good at finding diamonds in there. Coldwalder! Oh, good opportunity for him there, but good movement, good running. That's what we want to see from him. Good reactions as well. Bola with the throw in. Coldwalder lost the ball there, really. But Oluwu saved the day there. Can Oluwu make the step up to League One? This is a big step for him. Think about some of these players, like Mackenzie and Oluwu. We brought them up from like really low teams. And Rotherham have scored. John Webb there, first goal of the season. Okay, yeah, this is the welcome to League One, I guess, from Rotherham. Thanks. Nothing there from Dunn. Hines comes up, but Dunn tackles him. Kusumu, Griffiths, Mackenzie, Tilly. Lots of good player there, but a bit far away from goal to take a shot. But a good effort nonetheless. Corner now from Mackenzie. Mackenzie whips it in, and the game just kind of lagged there for a second. Aniki, he's a good player. Neymar, I recognize that one. Byron. Oh, good block there. Tilly now. Can he get the ball to someone? I don't know. They've all been surrounded right now. Maybe took a bit too long with that ball, but a throw in anyway. And another throw in from the other side with Leyland. Mackenzie. Ooh. Tilly. It wasn't the best of balls. I'm not going to blame him. He gave it a good go. Good tackle there by Kusumu. Coldwalder just runs round his man and gets it to Dunn. Dunn gets it to Kusumu. Griffiths. Ooh, good play. I'm liking what I'm seeing, actually. We may be losing, but you know what? In the first few games, we're in a new league. How your team plays is what's important. Because you're only looking at survival. So if you can see your team's playing really well and they maybe should have won, that shows you can do that in future games. And I think we're doing actually quite nicely. We've not been good enough so far. Show me something else. Yeah, we're just going to motivate them to push them, saying, it's not your best. This is not good enough, even though it is good. But you need to score. You can't just let them get past you with so little chances compared to your own. Look, 11-5. Here we go. Mackenzie tries to get the ball. Kasuma's doing quite nice, though, hold the ball in the defensive midfield position. I'm liking his role at the moment. Coldwalder. I think I made a good call going for defensive midfielder this time. Coldwalder. Loses the ball. Gets it to Byron. But then again, maybe it's affecting our attacking capabilities, and that's why we haven't got that many on target. Ooh, good pick up there by Coldwalder. Mistake there by the defense, but Dunn now got the ball. Griffiths. Ooh. That is a shame. That'd have been a nice comeback. Ooh, Bola taking the free kick. We don't normally get to see that. That is not something we normally get to see. But we don't have many good free kick takers or corner takers in this team, so do not expect anything amazing. Cunningham is probably the best one, if I remember correctly. Okay, Webner has the ball. Ooh, good tackle there by... I told you, Kusumu. Not a good ball, but the tackle was good. I'm liking him in that role. He could be really important for us this season. I think if I push him up and use an attacking midfielder, maybe he could do that in the centre midfield. I don't know. It feels a bit too risky now that we're in a new league. I could just be overestimating the league, but I don't think I am. I think we need to be careful. Okay, Shenton. Back to Aniki. To Hines. Up to Brian. Ooh, good chance there. Compton, though, hits the ball wide. We do need some better defenders. That's really it, isn't it? I have to just... Not going to bring in a striker. I'm just going to trust in our lone striker. Hopefully Junior can perform in League One. I'm going to give him that chance. He deserves that opportunity to have a go in League One, I think. So I will give him that opportunity. And I'll spend that money on a defender, not a striker. Okay, the ball is just getting rattled around at the moment. Not really much of a highlight right there, but they get a free kick. Compton with the safe hands. Good job, Compton. Hopefully he can show me that he can do League One. I'm not completely sold. But I have to make do with what I've got sometimes. Kusumu Kodwaldada. I can't say his name for the life of me. Griffiths Gets it to our striker. Gets it to our striker. But the defender there made a mistake. Our new defender, I've already forgotten his name. Not Wilkinson, is it? Is it Wilkinson? Wilkinson. Let's have a quick look. It is See, I'm not going crazy. I felt so rude right there. I thought I'd forgotten his name in the first match. But we're going standard. And we're playing a defensive formation. I do think we've been playing well. We could easily have been winning this game. They just happened to be winning. It could have gone either way, I think. And that's a good sign for a team who's been in League One for a few seasons. You know, this side is a good League One side. So the fact that we look good against them, I think is really nice. I'm kind of looking forward to this season now. Hopefully this is not just, one game we're getting lucky. But then again, we're not getting lucky because we're losing. Why am I keep talking up this team? We're losing. You guys probably think I'm crazy. Griffiths gets the not a good ball at all. Kusumu gets it to Kadewalada. Griffiths, you lost the ball. Griffiths has probably been the weakest player today, I feel like. And good stop there by Compton. I feel like Griffiths has been the weakest player today. Maybe I should take him off. Let's have a quick look. Seems very frustrated. That could be it. Jack Dunn's not in a good game either. Maybe we could bring in Coulson for him. So well he can do up there. Yeah, we'll try him as a winger. Cadwalada. I don't think he's going to do it today. Stuart Richards. Let's think. Defensive-wise, they're not doing badly. They're holding it for now. Kasuma's playing good. Mackenzie's playing okay. I have to take off Griffiths. Cunningham or Koya. We're going to bring in Cunningham. And I'm going to push Kusumu up to see what he can do here. Box to box. Yeah, and they both can play like in a similar role. But you can be ball-winning midfielder, defender. If you get a card, not such a big deal because you're not like to get a red card because there's not much time left, Cunningham. So go crazy. Go crazy. But look at that. They got 6 shots on target. We've only got 3. That shows you what's going wrong. No clear-cut chances for either of us, even though they have a goal. Coulson. What can he do? The new man. Gets a nice ball in there. But not what I'm hoping for right now. Their goalkeeper is meant to be good, though, but he's not been tested much today by us, has he? 3 shots on target. Yeah, maybe I'm being too nice to these players. Maybe it's not. Maybe I could blame the striker, maybe the Cadwalada. That was it? Wow, I brought in this place like 65th minute, didn't I? God, okay. Yeah, kind of disappointed. I was being very nice to them, but maybe it wasn't as good as I thought. But the fact we were able to help, kind of help, 50% the game, get a lot of shots, not that off on target, I think is not too bad. I think it's not too bad a start. Hopefully we can build upon that, and we just need to survive. That's all anyone expects of us. That's all the board want. And to do that would be massive for the club. It would be the highest ever finish. No matter what we get, it would be the highest finish we've ever had. Because we've never been to League One. So, that's pretty good. But I want to survive. I want to do well. I don't want to spend 3 seasons here like in League 2. We want to get out of here as soon as possible. Who knows? Maybe it'll be 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Could be 5 years. We're stuck in here. Maybe we get relegated. Who knows? We might get relegated before we get promoted. Why am I being so positive? We could easily get relegated. I guess I've had too much success at Bath. It's going to my head. It's going to my head. But I'll see you guys next time. Well, we'll continue the journey. Let's see what the League One story will bring us, guys. Let's see what it will bring.